Christmas is getting closer and closer. This time is called the season of giving. But today I won't talk about Christmas gifts. I want to talk about the notion of giving in general. Winston Churchill once said, "We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give." Everybody in our life makes that choice. What is more important, to give or to receive? In connection with that, I would like you to meet James Baltayan, who is Westford's resident since 2005. He is currently working in IT industry. Fishing and gardening are his passions. But he also has another passion. He organizes and hosts free-to-attend Halloween parties for local community. We met with James at the studio, and our conversation started with a question about when and how he got the idea of organizing these parties, and also what it takes to prepare such an event.
Well, it first started my first Halloween here on October 2005, and my neighbors suggested we all chatted with friends in the neighborhood that it would be fun, and I had the biggest sort of rectangular driveway, which would be conducive to holding a small block party. So that's why we started to do it in my driveway. The first party was fun, but most people were shocked. Nobody knew about it. So people would come along and just be surprised we were so festive, and we had a fire pit going and things like that, and that we were having a party outside, and everybody was invited to it. They thought some people at the first year thought it was just a private party, and they felt like they were intruding. And we told them, no, it's a party for everybody. So that was the fun, seeing the reaction on people's faces. Oh, I probably start decorating and getting supplies for the party up to a month in advance. It's a lot of work. I start setting up, the kids like a lot of the inflatable decorations I have and all the lights. My daughter, when she was little, she said the theme of the party has to be spooky, but not scary. Because my daughter was, 6 or 8, and she said to me, "Daddy, a lot of other kids are gonna come to this party, a lot of little kids, so we can't scare them." So we always tried to keep things spooky, but not scary. So all my family, a lot of the neighbors helped me set up decorations and prepare for the party, because it's a lot of work. I can't do it all alone. I've had a lot of volunteers helping me, from friends and family and neighbors and everybody.
By all means, I was interested if the parties are a success and how James sees their future.
Every year it keeps growing. Especially it grows incredibly more, the party, when the weather is nice. And especially if there's two things that combine. If the weather is nice and it's on Friday or Saturday, the number of people grows exponentially at that point. Also, I started to put flyers in people's mailboxes. I notify people like up to a month in advance, all in a maybe a 5-6 block radius of that we're having the party, so people know. And a lot of people actually get the invitation and say, "I didn't know I was invited." And I'll tell them everybody's invited.
I've seen that line of cars, several blocks.
Yes.
Coming to you.
Actually, we've actually had people come back who've left the neighborhood and will come back and spend Halloween in our neighborhood because they liked it so much, and they don't have that same feeling in their neighborhood. So they'll come back. New neighbors, I particularly like new neighbors meeting all the established neighbors of the neighborhood. I see them growing. And especially I'm excited. It's been this year was the 20th. Next year will be the 21st year. And next year I'm excited because Halloween is on a Friday. And if the weather permits and we have some good weather, I think we could have a record attendance of people coming to the party. So I'm really excited about doing it next year already. I'm already planning.
James' hat attracts my attention, and I asked him about its story.
The hat was a gift from one of my neighbors a few blocks away. People started calling me Mr. Halloween in the neighborhood, so they made me a customized hat, Mr. Halloween. And I try to wear it now during the Halloween party so everybody can get a laugh at it.
James is a religious person. I wonder what is the role of the religion in his decision to have the community parties.
I feel like, for me at least, God has been so good to me in my whole life. He's been very generous. And I've always felt that if you've had so much given to you, you got to give back to people. So I enjoy hosting the party and all the paying for all the expenses, just because I've been so lucky in life. And it's my way of just being nice to other people. That's why God has influenced me in that way. I always try to be nice and give back to people in every way, and this Halloween party is just one example. So many people have wanted to come up to me and give me money to help contribute to the cost of the party, and I refused that. I said, like, what kind of a person charges for a party? So I said no. I said maybe next year. I said this year, we were all talking, me and a bunch of the guests, that maybe next year we could pick a charity, and all proceeds, anybody wants to totally voluntary. If somebody wants to make a donation, we collect it and it goes to some major charity. That's what we're thinking next year, because I don't want anybody's money.
Here are a couple more examples of giving. I want to talk about one of the famous Russian businessmen, Alisher Usmanov, the most generous charity giver in Russia. One of his gifts was to American scientist James Watson, molecular biologist and zoologist. He and his co-discoverers were awarded the 1962 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for their discoveries concerning the molecular structure of nucleic acids and its significance for information transfer in living material. In 2014, James Watson decided to auction off his Nobel Prize medal because he had no income and wanted to use money raised by medal sale for scientific researches, cancer treatment in particular. The medal was sold at Christie's auction for $4.1 million in December 2014 and was returned to the scientist by the buyer, Russian businessman Alisher Usmanov, who was sure that a situation in which an outstanding scientist has to sell a medal recognizing his achievement is unacceptable. This sincere move probably was caused by the fact that Alisher Usmanov's father died from cancer, and James Watson's uncle, who brought the scientist up, also died from cancer. My second story today will be about very ordinary Russian grandmother who is called Babushka of the whole Russia. Well, what was she famous for? She was making warm wool boots, valenki, which can be put only on your finger. They won't save you in cold, but they will bring you luck, as Baba Tonya said. Her technology of making valenki was the same as of the real ones, very hard and monotonous. Baba Tonya always made her wool boots and lucky wool balls, where she put a piece of paper with fortune words in front of the icon. Every Sunday she went to the market in the downtown with her souvenir valenki. Baba Tonya lived in Suzdal, very old Russian town, with a lot of historical sites and tourists who come to the market to buy souvenirs. Babushka did not price her souvenirs. If you don't have money, you can have it for free. If you have money and want to pay, give as much as you want. Her spot at the market was near church, and Baba Tonya thought it helped with the selling. People were kind, and the trade went with God's help. Baba Tonya knew the town's governor and ex-president of Italy, Francesco Cossiga. He was in Suzdal and stopped at her table with souvenir valenki and lucky wool balls and bought them. Having learned where the money from the souvenir sale went, he awarded her with the Medal of Russian-Italian Friendship. Actually, Baba Tonya asked the tourists about the orphanage homes in their towns, called there and asked what help they needed. She helped one of them with fixing the heating system, with medical equipment to the home for children with low hearing, sent shoes, clothes, other gifts to the new year. Baba Tonya helped more than 20 orphanage homes. Her dream was to help as many kids without family as possible, for them to know that they have a grandmother. Giving implies you made somebody's life better, receiving only your own. Giving fosters a sense of compassion. When we give, we connect with others and acknowledge their needs, strengthen our sense of community and belonging. The greatest gift you will ever get is seeing joy and happiness on someone's face because of what you gave or did for him.
What actually has kept me going over the years is all the children. I have had small children walk up to me and say to me, I want to thank you. And I'm like, for what? And I'm like, for making this the best Halloween of my life. And when so many children are telling you that, how do you not want to do it? I've had children coming to me and saying, am I doing it the next year? And I said to them, I'm going to do this until I either die or I move. It's not stopping. Rain or sleet, snow, we've done it in all kinds of weather. We've never stopped.